What happens when two of music's biggest personalities clash on live TV, and one of them decides they've had enough? Today, we're breaking down the shocking moment Adam Lambert stormed off the Kelly Clarkson show, leaving the entire studio stunned. It started like any other cheerful segment. Kelly, all smiles, welcomed Adam to thunderous applause. He strolled out with that signature confidence, waving to the crowd. No one could have predicted that, within minutes, the interview would spiral into one of the most uncomfortable daytime television moments in recent memory. Kelly opened warmly. "Adam, it's so great to have you here. I've followed you since American Idol, and watching you step into Queen has been incredible." Adam relaxed into his chair. "Thanks, Kelly. It's been a wild ride." But then Kelly leaned in, shifting the tone. "There's been so much talk lately about authenticity in music, especially with talent shows and manufactured pop stars. As someone who came from a reality show, what's your take on artists who don't write their own music, or who aren't completely genuine with their image?" The air thickened. Adam paused just a little too long. His smile faded. "That's a pretty loaded question," he said carefully. "Authenticity is subjective. Just because someone comes from a reality show doesn't make them less real than someone discovered in a coffee shop." Kelly nodded, but pressed. "Sure, but don't you think there's a difference between someone groomed by producers and someone who organically develops their sound?" Adam straightened. The edge in his voice was unmistakable now. "Are you suggesting my success isn't organic? I've been performing since high school. American Idol was just a platform, not the beginning." Kelly quickly backpedaled. "Oh no, I wasn't talking about you specifically." "Weren't you, though?" Adam cut in. "Because it sure feels like you're implying that artists who come from TV are somehow less legitimate." The audience shifted uncomfortably. The energy in the room was changing fast. Kelly tried to laugh it off, but it rang hollow. "Adam, I think you're reading too much into this. I just want your perspective on the industry." "My perspective," Adam snapped, "is that I've worked my butt off for everything I've achieved. No one manufactured my talent or my image. I've been authentic since day one, whether people want to admit it or not." Kelly pushed back. "But you have to admit the industry has changed. When I won Idol, things were different. It wasn't all about image and social media." Adam bristled. "So now my success is because of image and social media? Kelly, whatever point you're trying to make, it's starting to sound pretty insulting." The room went silent. Producers whispered frantically in the wings. Kelly tried one last time to steer things back. "Adam, I'm not trying to insult you. I just want an honest conversation about music." Adam laughed, cold, humorless. "Honest? Let's be honest. You brought me here, and instead of talking about my music or my tour, you've spent the last 5 minutes questioning whether I deserve my success." Kelly's defenses cracked. "That's not what I'm doing, isn't it?" Adam fired back. "Because it sure sounds like you think reality TV artists are second-class citizens," Kelly finally snapped, her voice rising. "Adam, I came from the same place you did. I won Idol, too. Why would I look down on that path?" Adam's tone turned icy. "Maybe because you've been distancing yourself from it ever since. Maybe because now that you're established, you feel entitled to look down on others who took the same road." And then Kelly made the fatal mistake. Instead of de-escalating, she dismissed him. "Look, Adam, I think you're being way too sensitive about this." The words detonated. Gasoline on a fire. Adam's face hardened. His voice dropped to a dangerous calm. "Too sensitive. Did you just tell me I'm too sensitive?" Kelly immediately tried to recover. "I just meant you're interpreting me in a way I didn't intend." Adam cut her off, hand raised. "No, you don't get to backtrack. You just dismissed my concerns by calling me sensitive. Do you realize how condescending that is?" The studio froze. Cameras kept rolling. Producers were in panic mode. What was supposed to be a lighthearted promo had turned into a raw, explosive confrontation. Live, with nowhere to run. Kelly insisted, but her voice lacked conviction. Kelly, really? Because that's exactly what it sounded like to me. And apparently I'm just being too sensitive, right? Adam's sarcasm cut through the studio like a blade. Kelly was starting to look genuinely shaken. Kelly, Adam, I'm trying to have a professional conversation here. Adam laughed bitterly. Adam, professional? You call this professional? Professional would have been asking me about my music, my tours, my work with Queen. Professional would have been treating me like the artist I am, not making me justify my career path. The tension was suffocating. Even the audience began murmuring, uneasy. Kelly tried again to pivot. Kelly, you know what? You're right. Let's talk about Queen. How has it been working with Brian and Roger? Adam cut her off, his voice sharp. Adam, oh, so now you want to talk about Queen? After implying I'm not a real artist? You think you can just pivot to a safe topic and pretend the last 10 minutes didn't happen? Kelly, I never said you weren't a real artist. Adam, you didn't have to. It was in every question. The manufactured pop stars comment. The authenticity angle. The suggestion that reality show artists aren't legitimate. And when I called you on it, you told me I was too sensitive. Kelly's composure cracked further. Kelly. Adam, I think you're putting words in my mouth. Adam leaned forward. Adam, am I? Because I'm pretty sure everyone in this studio heard exactly what you said. He gestured to the silent audience. Adam, and I'm pretty sure America just heard it too. The room was frozen. You could hear the cameras humming. Kelly tried one last lifeline. Kelly, look, Adam, I respect you as an artist. I always have. If I said something that came across wrong, I apologize. Adam shook his head slowly. Adam, no, Kelly. You don't get to toss out a half-hearted apology and move on. If you respected me, you wouldn't have spent this whole interview undermining my credibility, Kelly. That's not what I was trying to do, she said, but her voice was rising, almost desperate. Adam, then what were you trying to do? Because from where I'm sitting, it looks like you brought me here just to tear me down. Kelly's tone pitched higher, her composure slipping. Kelly, that's ridiculous. Why would I ever do that? Adam shot back instantly. Adam, I don't know, Kelly. You tell me. Maybe you think it makes you look better. Maybe you want to distance yourself from other Idol winners. Maybe you think tearing me down somehow elevates you. The accusation hung heavy. Kelly's face went pale. Kelly, that's completely unfair. Adam, is it? Because that's exactly what this feels like. Instead of celebrating my success, you've made me justify my existence in this industry. Kelly's voice trembled now. Kelly. Adam, I never meant for it to come across that way. Adam. But it did. He cut in firmly. And when I called it out, you dismissed me. Told me I was too sensitive. Do you realize how disrespectful that is? The silence was unbearable. Even the crew stopped moving, transfixed by the meltdown unfolding in real time. Kelly's eyes glistened, her voice cracking. Kelly, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings. That wasn't my intention. Adam leaned in, deadly calm. Adam, if you hurt my feelings? Kelly, you didn't just hurt my feelings. You disrespected me. As a professional and as a person. There's a difference. And then Kelly made her second fatal mistake. Kelly. Adam, you're being completely unreasonable right now. I asked you a few questions about the industry, and you've turned it into this whole dramatic thing. Adam froze. You could see the snap in his eyes. Adam. Unreasonable. He repeated slowly, tasting the word. First I'm too sensitive. Now I'm unreasonable. Do you even hear yourself? Kelly realized instantly she'd stepped in it again. But she doubled down. Kelly. Adam, you're making a mountain out of a molehill. These were just casual questions. Adam's voice thundered. Adam. Casual questions? Kelly, you basically called my career manufactured. Implied I wasn't authentic. And when I defended myself, You called me sensitive and unreasonable. In what world is that casual? The audience was frozen, wide-eyed, hooked on every second. This wasn't an interview anymore. It was a live implosion. Kelly, flustered and frustrated, snapped. Kelly, you know what, Adam? Maybe you are being unreasonable. I've apologized. I've explained myself, and all you've done is attack me. Adam's eyes narrowed. He leaned back slowly, a storm of composure settling over him. Adam. Attack you? No, Kelly, this... He gestured around the silent studio. This isn't an attack. This is me refusing to sit here and let you undermine me. I won't play that game. And in that chilling calm, everyone watching knew. The breaking point had arrived. Adam didn't flinch. He straightened his jacket, the posture of someone fully aware of the optics and no longer concerned. Kelly, he said slowly, every word deliberate. Sometimes the truth looks terrible, but it's still the truth. The audience was frozen, not a cough, not a shuffle, just hundreds of eyes locked on the unfolding implosion. The control booth was in chaos, producers shouting over each other about whether to cut to commercial or let the confrontation burn itself out. Kelly tried one last time, her voice trembling, the polished host persona long gone. Adam, I never meant... But Adam cut her off with a raised hand, his expression steely. You meant every word. Maybe not out loud, but you meant it. And today, the mask slipped. America saw it. That's not on me. That's on you. With that, he turned, walking toward the edge of the set. The camera crew, unsure if they should follow or hold their shots, hesitated. The sight of Adam Lambert, once the polished, media-savvy guest, storming off with his head high and his mic left behind, was more powerful than anything he could have said. Kelly sat frozen in her chair, blinking rapidly as though she might wake up from a nightmare. Her hands clenched the armrests, knuckles white, while the studio audience absorbed the magnitude of what they had just witnessed. The small action, Adam unclipping his mic and walking away, carried enormous symbolic weight. It wasn't just an exit. It was a public rejection of the unwritten rule that talk show guests must endure whatever is thrown at them. And as the cameras lingered on Kelly's stricken face, the producers in the booth knew there was no salvaging this moment. This wasn't a segment gone off script. This was history in the making. A live television implosion that would dominate headlines, ignite debates, and forever change the way viewers saw both the guest and the host. Kelly said desperately, No, Kelly, it's going to look terrible for you. I'm the one who was attacked here. I'm the one who was disrespected and dismissed. All I'm doing is refusing to be your punching bag any longer. The audience was transfixed. A few people had their phones raised, recording what was quickly becoming the most shocking daytime TV moment in years. Others just stared, mouths open, as if they couldn't process what they were witnessing. Adam, I'm begging you. Kelly tried again, her voice cracking. Please sit back down. Let me make this right. For the briefest second, Adam hesitated, but then he shook his head firmly. You had 20 minutes to make this right, Kelly. Instead, you made it worse. Every time I tried to address your comments, you escalated. You called me sensitive. You called me unreasonable. And then you demanded my respect, while giving me none in return. Kelly's tears were streaming now. I made mistakes, she admitted, almost choking on the words. I'm human. Can't you give me a chance to fix this? Adam's response was calm but devastating. The time to fix this was before you questioned my authenticity on live television. The time to fix this was before you dismissed my concerns. The time to fix this was before you forced me to defend my career to your audience. Behind them, the production team was in full-blown panic, crew members dashing in and out of view as producers shouted orders no one seemed able to follow. Adam turned toward the cameras, his voice steady, resonant. To everyone watching at home, I came here excited to talk about my music, my tour, my work. I didn't come here to have my legitimacy questioned or to be told I don't deserve the career I've built. Kelly sobbed openly now, clutching the armrest of her chair as though it might anchor her. "Adam, please don't do this to me." He glanced back, expression softening for a moment, then hardened again. "Kelly, I'm not doing anything to you. These are the consequences of your choices. You questioned me. You dismissed me. You escalated this. And now you're seeing what those choices bring." "I'm sorry," Kelly whispered, barely audible. "I believe you," Adam said almost gently. "But sorry doesn't undo the damage. Sorry doesn't erase the implications you made about me. Sorry doesn't take back the fact that you told a successful artist he was too sensitive for defending himself." With that, Adam unclipped his mic. The sound of the clasp releasing cut through the silent studio like a gunshot. He set it carefully on the chair, straightened his jacket, and began walking toward the exit. The audience sat frozen. No cheers, no gasps, just stunned silence. "Adam, wait!" Kelly cried after him, her voice desperate. At the edge of the stage, Adam stopped and turned back. "Kelly, I've spent my entire career proving I belong in this industry. I've worked tirelessly to earn respect, from peers and fans alike. I will not sit in your chair and let you undo all of that with dismissive questions and a smug smile." "That wasn't my intention," Kelly said weakly. "Maybe not," Adam conceded. "But intention doesn't matter when the impact cuts this deep. You hurt me today. You disrespected me in front of millions. And when I tried to stand up for myself, you doubled down." The silence in the studio was absolute, oppressive. No one dared move. Adam swept one last look around the set before fixing his gaze on Kelly. "I hope you learned something from this. That your guests are human beings, not props. They deserve dignity and respect, not humiliation for entertainment value." And with that, Adam Lambert walked off the Kelly Clarkson show, leaving behind a sobbing host, a stunned audience, and what would instantly become one of the most infamous daytime TV moments in history. The cameras kept rolling on Kelly's tear-streaked face as the studio dissolved into chaos. Producers scrambled, audience members whispered, and across America, millions of viewers sat in disbelief, realizing they had just watched a live television breakdown, unlike anything seen before. This wasn't a tantrum. This wasn't a diva moment. This was a line being drawn. Adam Lambert had shown that there are some forms of disrespect you simply don't accept, no matter who delivers them or what the fallout might be. So, there you have it. The day Adam Lambert said enough is enough and walked away from one of the most uncomfortable interviews in television history. What do you think? Did Adam have every right to walk out? Or should he have stayed and tried to work it out? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to hit subscribe for more wild celebrity stories like this.